background of SNABPI, we started about 2 years ago. It started in Seattle, so shout out to everybody that helped make it happen for us. A lot of people don't know that they think it started in Minneapolis. It did not start in Minneapolis. SNABPI founded from Seattle. So we started about 2 years ago as a Facebook group. I think it was me, Shikuli, and like 3 other people. Just in the group, I was just posting all day. Shikuli was liking all my posts, just showing love on all the posts. And then it just blew up, right? It blew up. One day we got 5,000 new members, and a month later there were 16,000 people in the group. So this is something that really resonated with people. And then we started hosting events. Our first one was in, I think, December 2017 in Seattle. And then there was a Minneapolis chapter, Columbus, Toronto, and then now this year we're hoping San Diego, DC.
Living Well Kent is a non-profit organization that locates in the city of Kent. And as many of you know, that our community has been moving to Kent, Renton, Auburn, and beyond, and there was a lot of need of services. And so services there was not enough for our community or not suitable for our needs. So Living Well Kent started originally 2014 for food insecurity. There's a lot of people, including a lot of Muslims, not only Somalis, so Iraqis, Syrians, Afghan, a lot of Punjabi, so a lot of communities that live in Kent, most of them live in food insecurity. So we started food access food justice work that led to our youth, our future.
To the SNABPI conference back in August in Minnesota. And met Mohammed there finally face to face, and he was just as lively, as charismatic, as genuine in person as he is on social media, which is often a different face of people. And so I met him, and then I said, mashallah, nice to meet you, blah, blah. And then I came back, and literally, I think I was in my house thinking about the conference, because I felt really inspired. Like, wallahi, I was crying for several days after the event, because to see that many Somalis in one space, supporting each other, learning from one another, building together, was just a sight to see. So I came back, was on the couch watching Arturo. I don't know if you know Arturo, and I would encourage you to watch Arturo, which is about the founder of the Ottoman Empire. And I was watching that, and then I was like, hey, we should invite Mohammed to Seattle. And then one of those like aha moments, like here's a guy, a young guy, mashallah, who came to the country not too long ago with hopes and dreams of writing a comic book, a Somali comic book. And I thought, well, SNABPI is about elevating and uplifting the stories of Somalis and young Somalis in particular. Why don't we host him in Seattle?
My name is Abdullah. I am the Executive Director for Somali Health Board, and it's wonderful to share this space with all of you, wonderful people. Really excited for my friend and former college roommates. For those of you who don't know, Musa Rob and I go way back. So when he's writing something about Silicon Valley, there's a little bit of a story here about this as well. So it's really I also want to welcome our brother, to here in Seattle. Thank you for coming here. As you can see, we are little ones that just got here from soccer, here at Health Board, and we want them to know that, the characters that are depicted in those comic books and the book that our brother wrote is the strength of our community and the resilience of our community. So thank you so much for being here.
So I was struggling to find what section I should read, but I think if anybody here has found something in their life that, okay, OJ.
Oh, no, let me do that.
OJ OJ likes a chapter of my book which is titled, How Long Have You Been Black? But that's probably not the one I'm going to read. Everybody, something that you like in your life and you found, there was a time you came across something which inspired you. This is how I got inspired in a magazine store in Nairobi about technology and companies. So I'm going to read this section. I think this is the most appropriate for this crowd. My first encounter with technology startups was at a magazine store in Nairobi in the mid-90s. Unbeknownst to me at the time, the dot-com boom was well underway in the United States. I was at the store to pick up the latest edition of Word Up magazine, my source for hip-hop news, albums that were dropping, rappers that were beefing, who was dating who, and the tips on the must-have attire to cement one's citizenship in the nation of cool. I'll stop there. If any of you don't know what Word Up, it is the 90s version of Instagram. So that used to be, we used to look at magazines instead of Instagram then. So that's it. As I searched the stands, the magazine cover caught my attention. The cover had an image of a young man, not much older than me, sitting on a bonnet of a yellow Lamborghini. What was this about? I asked myself as I picked the magazine up to inspect it further. Foreign magazines were quite expensive in Nairobi at that time, so the stores would seal them with a see-through plastic cover to protect them from the elements and the greasy fingers of non-paying customers. This, however, limited buyers from examining the contents of the magazine before paying the exorbitant price. I don't recall the exact headline, but it tickled my interest enough to present a dilemma. I had money for only one magazine, and now I had to decide between Word Up and the business magazine, which promised to reveal the secrets of a world where young adults were becoming titans of industry. I chose the business magazine that day and dipped my toe into this brave new world.
Deserve one. Thank you, Robert. You kind of alluded to this, but as Somali Americans, we often find ourselves in the intersections of the two most discriminated identities, the Black and the Muslim identity. And you refer to that in the book and some of the challenges that you faced in the corporate world and at Silicon Valley. So we're curious about what advice you would give to any SNABPI members on how they can survive and maybe even thrive in that environment.
Yeah, I think this is really important. There is a chapter in my book. One advice I'll say is read my book. And I think the most important thing is always try and learn from other people. And a lot of people have gone through the same journey as you. And if you get the opportunity to either get mentors, that is the way to go. There's one interesting section of my book. OJ mentioned it. How long have you been black? That was me discovering my black identity. It took me a while, but my first year I got straight out of college and I got hired in one of the most prestigious consulting firms. I was one of two African Americans, and I felt in an office of 500. I felt really hard maneuvering that environment, and I was going to quit after a year, and it was only after I found this association called the National Association of Black Accountants, where I was able to get black mentors to advise me and to explain that I'm not going crazy, this is a real thing, and it gave me the tools on how to succeed. But I think with SNABPI, this is also a great place now to also augment the challenges, the unique challenges that Somalis might have or Muslims might have. Those are unique challenges, and I think it's going to be a great platform for people to share experiences, lessons learned, and how people are able to maneuver the corporate environment with this current climate of Islamophobia.